I am Greg Steinkamp, so I'm the service rep covering C&B on anything from lawnmowers to combines to planters. I cover all the stores in Iowa, Minnesota, and South Dakota. So I've been with Deere for about 10 years. We're going to talk about, go a little bit more in depth on precision upgrades on the planter side. So Nate talked earlier about planter upgrades. We've had these out for 6-7 years. So this would give you an indication of what the row units would look like if you were to update an older planter, depending on what model year it was. There are some compatibilities that go into that. They go back a long ways. So if you have a planter that may be back in an 08, 09 time frame, talk to your sales guys and they'll be able to tell you if it's compatible or not. On the left would be an ME Maximerge 5E planter row unit. That's how they come on the stands. So you're essentially getting everything from the frame backwards. So if you have a worn out row unit that needs to have new bushings, everything else replaced, and you're looking at updating to a new planter, but don't really want to make that big jump, this may be an option for you. On the right side would be our ExactEmerge row unit with IRHD and all the updated components. A lot of these components are the same components that you're going to be getting on a new planter. You just won't have the planter frame will not be updated, obviously. So we talked about ExactEmerge with the brush belt and the singulation, and then moving into Maximerge 5E. So that's kind of the middle of the road. Still very good with singulation, but just does not have the brush belt. ExactRate would be our individual nozzle control that we have on you're using the same one off of a ExactApply sprayer. So that we have one nozzle that's branching off into 2 rows and able to monitor rate and then do individual section shutoffs for each row. So that's been a great system for us. This one does not have it on it, but it would have a pump, obviously a tank, and then lines running to along each wing to each row. That way you can do consistent application across the entire planter. So that way if you're making a right-hand turn, obviously your left wing's gonna be going a little faster. We're gonna be pulsing more on that left wing and having an accurate rate. Compared to on the right side, you're not gonna be over applying as well with that wing going a little bit slower. So that's been a great system, pretty bulletproof as well. I hate to jinx myself on that, but that one's been a good system as well. IRHD, that's been another good system for having consistent down pressure when running through the field, whether it's a hard spot or a soft spot, maybe lessening up that pressure versus a hard spot, putting more pressure on that individual row and having consistency for depth across that planter. The ultimate LED lighting kit. So if you were to update with the rest of these, you can add this kit. This is a pretty sweet kit because does anybody here plant at night? We got a few hands. That I don't have the cool video that Nate had, but that lights up pretty awesome. You have essentially underglow for your frame to see your gauge wheels, your row cleaners, and then a lot of visibility around the planter. And you have lights within the CCS tank, so you can see what the level is a little bit more accurately as well too. Frame weight distribution. So we do have a lot of options for that, going back to 1775 DB planters and 1795 planters. What we've done there is added cylinders on each wing to put weight on our wings to rate or take pressure or weight off of the main frame. So when you have a full CCS tank or full CCS tanks, you don't have a lot more weight and weight being carried on the main frame wheels, and it's distributed to the outer wings, so you don't have that those pinch, or if you're worried about pinch rows on your main frame. Other optional features. So you can do active pneumatic if you don't want to go to IRHD or hydraulic downforce. Pneumatic closing wheels, easy adjust row cleaners. That's another option. So there's a ton of things that you can do. You can upgrade to SeatStar 4 if that's something you want to do to see a little bit more visibility on the resolution for your monitoring. Couple different hopper options. Nate talked about the Yetter row cleaners, or the Yetter twister closing wheels, and our color-coded hydraulic grips. Does everybody have tags or remember exactly how the hoses go together when you go to hook up, or do you have to undo it a couple different times? So that's a nice feature to be able to color coordinate with the tractor that you plug into. It has extend and retract on each of them, so you know exactly how to plug it in. So you can do that to your older planters if you want to. A lot of people will use the ear tags from a calf or something to write things on there, or duct tape, or just do trial by fire, but that is a nice little upgrade that we have. Those are coming on all the new planters. More on frame weight distribution. So these are some of the models that it goes back to. Like we talked about, there's a lot of different models that you can put it on, and we're expanding that more every year. So soon there is also integration within the cab. So if you wanted to shut that off, there's an on and off for being able to shut that in the cab. You physically set it on the planter itself, usually set around 1,000 pounds, but then you can go in and turn that on or off if you wanted to. Most people set it and forget it. Central tire inflation, talked about this a little bit earlier, but now we have the ability to inflate or deflate your tires depending on what you're doing. If you have a little bit softer conditions, you want to spread that footprint out for your tires. Now you can take that pressure down a little bit, and then if you need to air it up during transport, that takes 5 minutes to do that, or approximately 5 minutes. So another option on that. That bottom note is we do have track bundles. So if you had an older planter, model year 21 or newer, and you wanted to, instead of upgrading the whole planter, you want to put tracks on it, we do have bundles through parts if you want to put those on as well. Exact shot, so this is limited for model year 24, will be a puck or a precision upgrade for 25. So has our ability to dose just on the seed instead of a continuous dose. You can still do continuous if you'd like, but it gives you the option to have less starter fertilizer if you want. So you could save up to 66% on that, and obviously being able to have longer run times when you, instead of having to fill more often. So compatibility on that is 1775, 1795, and a few DB models. You do have to have a G5 display to operate that, and you will need an Ethernet cable because we have a new architecture to run that system with those additional cameras. Furrow vision, Nate hit on this a little bit, but this will be a huge deal, being able to see. There'll be 3 cameras, one on each wing and one on the main frame, to see what your actual trench looks like and judge the depth of it. So instead of just running off of your depth, you can get a true gauge of what that looks like. And instead of jumping out and digging and doing all those things, sometimes you can just do that from, or you may be able to do that from in the cab to make sure that you're doing and setting and having a good seed depth and seed trench. So that is not compatible with Exact Shot, and you will need, I'm pretty sure you'll need, this may need to be updated, but this needs a G5 as well. Here were some of those pictures of the ultimate LED lighting kit. So without that, obviously there is, I don't have a comparison on this, but without that, pretty much all this is gone, and your under frame lighting is gone as well too. So that's going to be huge for anybody that wants to plant at night. Talked about frame weight distribution. Yetter twister closing wheels, so now we have the option to have that. If you were to upgrade, put a new row unit on your planter, you can have that option along with rubber tire closing wheels, cast closing wheels. So there are a lot of options that you can choose if you're wanting to upgrade maybe your row units to the latest technology, but not upgrade your entire planter frame. Finally, the GFX hydraulic row cleaner. So these are frame mounted. These are a partnership with SurePoint. So it was the old Dawn GFX row cleaners. Now it's through SurePoint. So if you have any questions on that, talk with your sales professional on being able to get these, because there's markets that customers have really liked getting these row cleaners compared to maybe a a row-mounted row cleaner. And then that's just a little bit more detail on the color-coded hose grips. So definitely makes it nice when hooking up a planter, especially if you're moving machines frequently or moving tractors frequently. Makes it nicer to be able to plug in and make sure you're good to go every time. So that's what I had on planter precision upgrades.